Wait, let me get to the issue at hand here. And Dr. Marshall, let me start with you. And I think this is important. Why are we waiting so long to help our ally that's very existence is hanging in the balance here?
Pay attention to what Chuck Schumer says. Watch what he does. He says he supports Israel, but hours after he gave a big speech saying he would not sleep until we supported Israel, he walked on the Senate floor and instructed every Democrat to vote against our standalone Israel package. We're no closer today to helping Israel than we were on October 7th. When Chuck Schumer wants to bring all these policies together and leave out border security. By the way, the most pressing national security issue we are facing is this open southern border where 10 million illegal immigrants have crossed the border since Joe Biden took office, including 1.5 million gotaways. So nothing is happening up here because the Democrat Party is divided on this.
Well, the reality is Senator Tuberville is that they had an opportunity to offer aid to Israel. I like standalone bills. I don't like Schumer's bill would include Ukraine, which would get a massive amount of money yet again. In this case, another $80+ billion. It would include $14 billion, is my understanding, for Israel, then money for Taiwan, and then potentially border security. No thanks. I don't want your $106 billion bill shoved down our throat.
John, that's what you get when you straddle the fence. You try to play both sides. Chuck Schumer's the worst leader I've ever seen. He couldn't lead a marching band. You know, and as Roger Marshall just said, he stood on the Senate floor and instructed every Democrat how to vote. Now, if you don't have enough guts or gall to vote for your people of your state, you shouldn't be up here. And they let down the people of Israel when they voted down, you know, that package. They care more about the tax money being taken away from the American taxpayer with keeping all these IRS agents that they want. They care more about that than they do about helping the people that are our allies. And it's a shame to see what's going on up here.
So how does this play out in your view, Dr. Marshall?
So I think that we have the votes to block cloture on Chuck Schumer's bill. His bill that combines all these together, that's not going to include border security. We now have the votes to block cloture and force the border issue. That's what our goal is. We need to be locked in as Republicans saying we won't go anywhere. Hell no, unless there's funding for meaningful border security and specifically some meaningful policy changes, which you've enumerated multiple times, Sean, what that looks like.
No, I mean, I find this whole thing just unbelievable, and the fact that we had an opportunity to do this yesterday, and Chuck Schumer, I'll stay till you won't even go home for Christmas holidays, which we know is a lie, because they'll find a way. Now, the question I have, and Senator Marshall, I'll ask you first, is Mitch McConnell on board? Is he going to hold the conference together in the Senate? Because that's what you're going to need.
Sean, he is. He's been very strong on the floor, and then it's just recently in our conference meeting, he's very sturdy on this. That I think we have over the 40 votes needed to stop cloture, 41 votes to stop cloture. I think that he's leading. This is about as strong as I've ever seen him stand up. John Thune, all of our leadership is pledging that we will vote down cloture on this big package unless there's very meaningful border security opportunities on that bill as well. So I think the leader McConnell's on board with this on this one.
Yeah, but I always worry because the Senate always seems to want to go home for Christmas, and when push comes to shove, Senator Tuberville, you'll get enough Republicans partnering with enough Democrats to get a big omnibus bill, although I don't think they're going to get Republicans in the House to go along with it this time. At least I'm hoping.
Sean, our country's in trouble. We're in bad trouble. The border is a disaster. I call it the immigration industrial complex. The drugs, the human trafficking, the cheap labor, the things that are coming in, and the $500 billion that we've already spent on these illegals coming in with taking care of them, putting them in a hotel rooms, $500 billion, and they complained when President Trump wanted $20 billion to build a wall. These people up here have lost their mind. If we don't get 49 cloture votes, I'll be disappointed. We need 41. But there's no way we should do anything else up here until we do something at that border, because if we don't, our country's gone. It's going to be over with. The country that you and I, Sean, you and I and Dr. Marshall grew up in, it will be no longer.
Well, I mean, certainly for the rule of law, we just cast it aside, and all because Joe Biden is not upholding his oath of office. which is to uphold our Constitution, which is the foundation for every law that's ever passed. And he's just picking and choosing which laws that he cares to enforce, Senator Marshall, and that has become unfortunate. But again, the question I go back to is, Republicans now have a clear choice to make here. How hard are they going to fight? And then we got to get to the issue of Ukraine. How much money should America be giving Ukraine? We've given them $80 billion. And as far as I'm concerned, Joe Biden does not. He's put handcuffs on President Zelensky from the get-go when he wouldn't allow Zelensky to receive the MiG jets from Poland. And then he's telling, the Ukrainians what weapons they can and cannot use in the middle of a war against Vladimir Putin. And this amount, the $80 billion already, and now another $80 billion. I mean, is this just a proxy war between Russia and the United States at this point? Because I don't see Europe stepping up and paying their fair share. We're paying more than all of European countries combined.
Yeah, absolutely, on all those points. Look, we cannot keep throwing good money after bad money. It's interesting to me is why. Why do the Democrats, why all of a sudden are they in love with Ukraine? Their leader is so weak. This is the only supposed victory that he can claim on the world stage. Now, I would not claim what's happening in Ukraine a victory. There's been no movement in the past year that this is a stalemate, costing the lives of over 200,000 people, probably another 500,000 casualties on top of that. We should be focused on some type of a peace agreement in Ukraine right now. And by the way, the Biden administration still has only implemented 1/2 of the banking sanctions on Russia that they could as well. So again, they say they're fighting the war over there, but they're not applying maximal pressure. This is a war that's dragging on. It's going to last 7, 8, 9, or 10 years, and America does not need to be involved in this type of a proxy war at this point in time. Let's take care of our own border. As leaders, as Coach talks about, when you're a leader, you have to set priorities. I am personally locked in on securing the border. I know Coach Doberville is locked in on securing the border. A lot of us Republicans up here, we are locked in on securing our southern border.
I hope